All right, here I am. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. All right. I got my hair cut yesterday, and I like it, but it just looks different here on my phone. Whatever, I bet makeup and all that. Whatever, people, it's fine. It's fine. There we go. Maybe I'll just change the way my phone is directed, and it will make my hair look better. All right, whatever. Durr. Hey, everybody. So, how about this? Me showing up in the afternoon on the East Coast. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, East Coast time. Oh, thank you, Lady V. I appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of forgot to put makeup on, so there's something like that. Something like that there. So, here's the deal. Oh my gosh. So, I don't even know if I have some regular folks to tune in the mornings. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. I help people with their clutter via one-on-one coaching on Zoom. I have a coaching package and all that kind of stuff like that there. But I love to show up on TikTok doing TikTok lives to help you for the next hour with what you're struggling with clutter-wise. So I have been a cluttered person myself. Hey, Melissa, nice to see you in the afternoon. Very cool. Thank you. This is mainly for folks it's for everybody. Trust me, I'm not discriminating or whatever, but I get so many people from the West Coast being like, you're on too early, right? Because I'm East Coast and I'm also an early bird. My husband is what do I want to say? My husband is a night owl and I'm an early bird. But anyhow, I'm here for the next hour to answer your questions. What questions do you have about your clutter situation? What is keeping you stuck clutter-wise? What is, and this is my metaphor if we haven't met, again, my name is Beth, Destination Decluttered, is I coach using like kind of a road trip driving travel metaphor. So think of the clutter in your life. Like you are here on a map, right here, this little pin. This is you today. This is where you are. You've got things in your life that are working. Rock on. Keep on doing them. You have things in your life that aren't working out so well for you. Notice them. Thank you. Notice that my husband, awesome guy, is giving me a piece of toast because I'm going back to back here. Is not working out so well clutter-wise. Think of your clutter as like this is you in your car trying to drive towards a destination that you love. Like you want to be decluttered, but you've got a bunch of stuff like, piled up in front of it. Okay? There we go. All right. Oh, I loved it. So Angela is saying, I saw you the other day for the first time. I immediately went through a closet and determined something. Diane is asking about countertops in the kitchen. Always get cluttered even after I clean it. Okay, interesting thing about that is going to be, and you know what? Here, I'm just going to take a piece of toast, and I may even talk with my mouth full. Sorry, mother. Sorry, father. Okay, good. Hit the spot. Hit the spot, Johnny. Countertops in the kitchen. Notice, unless, I always kind of joke about this, unless you actually have little gremlins and little people of Stonehenge coming through your house, the reason that your kitchen counters are getting cluttered is because of habits. You have habits. The people in your home have habits of putting things on the counter and then basically not putting them where they should be in a certain amount of time, right? That's really what it is. I mean, I'm a life coach, so I talk about how you think about things and how you feel about things makes you do things. But on the flip side, a lot of what we do that keeps us cluttered is just habits. You're in the habit of putting something on the counter. It's clean, and you think, oh, this is going to be clean forever. And then you know what you do? You have a habit of just putting your teacup there and then not putting it in the sink or putting it to the side of the sink as opposed to into the sink. So get curious about your habits. And you know how you can do that? You can go out to your kitchen right now, look at the items that you consider clutter and say, how did they get there? Why are they there? Who put them there? Why are they there? And then you can start to kind of problem solve it. You can change your habits. I've done it myself. You get in the habit of doing something different that gives you the result you want, which is clear kitchen counters. We have clear kitchen counters. I mean, they get mucked up sometimes because you don't live in a museum, you live in a home. But when it becomes cluttered to you, it means it's time that you need to shorten up the amount of time between when you put it down and you put it away. There you go. I love it. So thank you, Angela. I say, saw you the other day for the first time, immediately went through a closet and determined I didn't need it and gone. I love it. See, determined, made a decision. You made a decision about a thing and then you took an action. And you took an action ideally that was aligned with how you want your home and life to look and feel, right? There we go. Okay. PM 111208 is saying, I get discouraged because there is so much even though you break it down. Okay. This is the mindset portion of the show, right? So when you tell yourself there's so much even when I break it down, how does that make you feel? That would make me feel crappy. When you feel crappy, you do crappy. And when you do crappy, you pretty much do one of two things. You do the same thing over and over again, or you do nothing, right? That discourages you. That takes the courage away from you. Let's play with the opposite. I'm always talking about the opposite. Because on the flip side, maybe I'll use flip side because I like records. On the flip side of an unhelpful thought is a helpful thought. So if you have an unhelpful thought because it's keeping you stuck, it's taking away your courage, right? There is so much even though you break it down. No, you know what? Technically, math is on my side. So you have 100 items and you break it down and you deal with 20 of those items. You have 80 items left to deal with. That is less than you started with. So you do make progress, okay? Our brains have this so unhelpful negativity bias that it likes to use to keep us stuck and not changing. So that's probably why you have and just kind of believe that unhelpful thought. Just get questions, you know? Just be curious about why you're not moving forward. Do I think that clutter adds to anxiety and depression? I do. I also think that anxiety and depression add to clutter. They're like buddies. They hang out together. I'm not saying that everybody who is cluttered has anxiety and depression, but whatever. But sometimes they hang out together. It's everybody's unique in why they have clutter. Everybody's got their own clutter story. I know I have mine, you have yours, the people you live with have theirs. They've got their story about clutter. They've got the levels of it that they're comfortable with. They've got the habits that they have. We have them too, you know? But, and I, you know, and Melissa's saying right there, Irish pink. Yes, it does. There is often a correlation, you know, since I am here being like the guide in this, I want to make sure I'm not being declarative in any way, but I would say if you think it has something to do with it, it may, you know? Chris is saying I am having a hard time parting with stuff. Okay, so Chris, your stuff, your clutter maybe, is going to be falling under one of three categories. Everybody's is, you know? You've got surface clutter, you've got stored clutter, and you've got sentimental clutter. Notice the stuff that you have a hard time parting with. I bet it's not surface clutter. Surface clutter is just the stuff that's on your kitchen counters, right? Like up thread. What I want to suggest with, you may have hard time, I swear I'm not going to talk with my mouth open or talk with food in my mouth. I'll put it over there. I'll eat it later. The stuff that makes you feel feelings, that gives you, it tells you a story, that's probably the stuff that you have a hard time parting with. There's stuff in your home that you have an easy time parting with, or else your garbage cans would be empty, right? Greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been to St. Louis. I've had a wonderful time there. Nice to see you. Yes, I am showing up at this later time. Now, normally I do my TikTok lives earlier in the morning because I am East Coast, but I am going to endeavor to show up to a TikTok live once a week at a later time to get people from the Midwest and the West Coast. And then I also am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. I will show up there too. So that's why I'm here. I do want to offer too, since we've got a bunch of people here, I want to let you know that I have a Destination Decluttered email mailing list. And I'm going to be changing up and making that even better, I decided yesterday, for July. Because here's the thing, is that I really appreciate when people sign up for my mailing list. You've asked me, you've allowed me to send you a message through the email. I don't want to abuse that. I always want to make it be a really cool thing. So as some people on this list already are on it, will attest that immediately when you sign up for my mailing list, attached to your welcome email is a PDF of a habit tracker that I use, that I put away. Is it right here? Oh, look at me. How convenient. a habit tracker that I use that you can use. It's a PDF. You can print it out for the rest of your life. You get that for free just for signing up for the mailing list. The other thing too is though, because you're on the mailing list, suddenly you're in kind of like the members only club, as I like to call it, because I think of those like, 1980s jackets, right? And so you will you'll get an invitation, you'll get a Zoom invitation to a monthly group Zoom call that only the people on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list do. You sign up by going to destinationdecluttered.com/join. The other thing I'm going to start in July, and I'm going to give a preview to the people who are already on the list, but also as a heads up to people, is I do one-on-one coaching. And the way that I do that is I have an online calendar that I'm able to show like my times available to do consultations, and that is determined by the amount of time I have during the day that I'm not coaching or doing other things. Now that is happily, my coaching calendar is getting really filled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to give the people on the email list first dibs on any consultation sections that I have. They'll get notified when consultations open. So if you have any possible interest at all in ever doing one-on-one coaching with me, the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be on my email mailing list first. I'm going to start to turn it to that because I really want to reward the people and make it be a cool thing for people to be on the mailing list. The other thing, frankly, is that I just read an article this morning in the Boston Globe about some other place being concerned about TikTok and how they may put it down. What is it? Montana is banning it and all this. If TikTok went silent, you and I would have no way of communicating. If I have your email on my mailing list, we can still stay in touch and we can still do cool things. We would just do a lot of this on Zoom. I could still make these cool things happen, okay? I just want to mention that. All right, now I want to get back to this. All right, here we go. There we go. Determined I didn't need some things. That's awesome. What do we got here? I'm a clutter bug. Why? I don't know. Teresa? I'll give you a couple ideas. See if any of these fit. Maybe you were never taught how to declutter. Maybe your family clung on to stuff and said, no, we can't get rid of that. That's good things. Maybe buying things and holding on to them makes you feel secure and makes you feel better. Maybe it shows a certain amount of status to be like, I have the money to buy whatever the hell I want. Therefore, I'm going to buy whatever the hell I want. Get curious about it. When you say, I don't know, you shut things down. When you say, what if I did know? What if? Why could I be a clutter bug? Then you open up. When you get curious, you open up your mind to finding the answers to the things you're struggling with. Okay? Yeah. Our subconscious beliefs what we tell us. Don't say negative things about yourself. You're going to believe it. Don't just stop yourself from doing it and kind of flip it to the flip side. There we go. All right. Yep. Grandmother stuff, old hats, purses, tons of photos, large poster frames in bedroom. Ugh, yeah. Here's what I want to offer. Hello, Chicago. That stuff, sentimental clutter, they are gone. Why do I feel the need that I need this? I'll tell you why. We all do this to a certain extent. It's very few people I've met that are so robotic or, whatever, that they don't feel a certain, sentimental connection, sentimental, surface stored sentimental to an object because it reminds reminds you of something. It reminds you of your grandmother. It also reminds you, and you may hear the story that they told you of, that's good stuff. You have to hold on to that. You can't get rid of it. Sometimes we think that because the thing reminds us of the person, that the person actually has a bit of their energy in the stuff. And while it might, so for example, my teacup right here may remind me of somebody, I might have an emotional connection to it. I have imbued this thing that came from, where did I get it, Printful or something? This thing I got from Printful, suddenly I imbued it with meaning and power. It reminds me of this. It's good to know. You can also reclaim that power and drag it away from the thing and put it back in you. So your love for your grandmother is, her stuff reminds you of her, but your love for her lives on in your heart and it will never go away. It lives there. When you see the thing, it just activates the love that exists within you. The love is not in the thing. but the thing reminds you of her. So if you're afraid of forgetting certain stories about people, if you're afraid you'll never forget your grandmother, even if you have none of her stuff at all. I have many people in my family that I don't have any, like, tchotchkes or souvenirs or whatever from them, but they live on in my heart. That's okay. If you think it'll make it easier to get rid of some of their stuff, to pass it along to somebody who actually may love it, like if you love the stuff, oh, by all means, keep it in your house. But if you don't love it, get it back out into the world, into circulation, where it can connect up with somebody who's going to love it. Maybe take a picture of the thing, so that you see the picture and are reminded of it, There you go. And Teresa, oh yeah, so destinationdecluttered.com/join. Oh, there we go. I just refreshed my page. I see some people doing that. Hope you got that, right? There we go. I love it. So Linda just said, subscribe to your YouTube channel as a background sound while decluttering. Yeah, who knew? And I'm not the one. This is a wonderful thing that I love about coaching and how I'm doing it and how I'm learning about it and how I'm learning to better show up to help you, is that it was somebody on one of these TikTok lives in the comment section who said, hey, could you save this YouTube live or TikTok live and upload it somewhere where I can listen to it in the background? Because when I listen in the background, it helps me, like a podcast. It helps me remember, and I put it on in the background while I declutter, and it helps me. So I'm like, sure, no problem. I will say I was having a little bit of a struggle yesterday with yesterday's TikTok live, trying to download it from them. So it's going to be 100% because sometimes technology works until it doesn't. But whenever I can, I will upload TikTok lives to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel, so you can just pop one on and put it on in the background, okay? Yes, and somebody said tap the screen for likes. Yeah, if you like what you're hearing. I know many of you probably haven't even gotten to know me or met me because I usually show up in the morning, but my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and Destination Decluttered is how I help people get from where their house is cluttered to where not only is it decluttered, but also their homes and their lives look and feel and function like they want them to be, right? And one of the ways you can be notified of me doing a TikTok live is by liking my page. And also then when you do that, you'll be notified when I am on live. I also upload videos. I don't just do lives, but also that will, that will help you just know when I'm available to help you, okay? Because here's the deal. I know what it's like to be struggling with clutter. I know what it's like to collect things to fill a hole in my heart, in my life. When I was, decades ago, I'd be like, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm kind of scared. I don't know. It doesn't seem like anything I want to do is ever going to happen. So I'll just settle and I'll just distract myself by, shopping for things and going collecting and things. I know what it's like firsthand. And the wonderful thing, I also grew up in a cluttered household. I mean, trust me, I know all the things. But what I also know is I found a way to change it. I did. And it took me a wicked long time. And I don't want it to take as long as it took me to get you from where your life is now to where you say, I freaking love my life. Because on the daily now, I just say, I freaking love my life. And when things happen that I don't expect, that aren't necessarily helpful, which inevitably they do, because that's what life is, I am so much better prepared to deal with, because I have coached myself into what do I want my life to look and feel like. Okay? Here we go. Oh, thank you for just signing up for my newsletter. Subscribe to you. Okay, Dana Deff says, but sometimes I think my kids will enjoy the sentimental things. Okay, Dana, no harm, no foul. Ask them. Ask them. Get them involved. Get your kids involved. Get the people who you share a home with. And even if you don't share a home, family, hello, you're going to, inherit some stuff someday if you don't watch it, and it may be stuff you don't want. Ask your kids if they want this stuff. Hanging on to clutter is sometimes a learned behavior. You're taught, don't get rid of that. That's good stuff. No, you used to want that. Remember, it was your thing. Kids sometimes are like, no, I'm done. Do you ever see a little kid who, they play with a toy for a while, and then they're like, I don't want to play with this toy anymore. That's like a little kid toy. I want to play with a big boy toy. All right? So, decluttering is making decisions about your stuff in your life that align with who you want to be, what you want your life to be. And that's a life skill. That is a life skill that everybody at every age can benefit from having. So why not start earlier? With the little kids, start a thing. Hey, you know what? I saved a bunch of this stuff. Isn't it fun? Do you want to, even if you don't still want to play with it, maybe you want to hang out with it. If not, no big deal. Let's take some pictures of you with these things so that we can save the pictures digitally so it doesn't take up room. You know? Oh, German maid, thank you so much. My hair looks great. I was saying earlier it's a little bit too short, but thank you. I like it too. I'll wait until there's no longer a teenager to ask me with stuff. Yeah, that's true. You know? But also just notice, okay? Just notice. You have a thought. I think they may want this someday. That makes you feel a feeling. Oh, you know what? I'm trying to do something nice. Maybe they will want it someday, so you keep it, right? If when the flip side comes, when the opposite comes, and you say, oh, you know what? They don't want that thing anymore. Don't feel bummed out. Don't try to guilt them into it. Don't save the stuff for yourself. Say, oh, okay. At least I gave them a shot. At least I asked them if they wanted this stuff. And now that they don't want it, I can then donate it to someplace that does want it. You know, notice how there's that kind of nice look about, or a way that kind of thing acts. Okay. That's my background in, what do you call it? Life coaching, head, heart, hands. That's how I roll. It makes it so easy. Oh my God, I am such a person. I am so me. I alliterate like nobody's business. Destination decluttered. Head, heart, hands. Surface sentimental stored. Like, this is how it helps my brain to do those things. Even back in the day, I had my website, Retro Roadmap, all of these things. I try to make it as easy as I can to get the ideas across that are going to help you, because I know when I was looking for help with what I was struggling with, I would read books and I felt like I almost need to translate it from this highfalutin language into something I could understand, so that I could be like, oh, now I know what you mean. Oh, it's like when I'm, driving in my car and there's something in the way and I have to get out and examine it and move it to move forward. I realized that for me, like the metaphor of driving and travel and where I am now, but where do I want to be, made it be so different to me that it took the drama out, it took the overwhelm out, and I said, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if I went out and saw that band? Wouldn't it be cool if I, went out and met people that I actually had common things in common with? How fun would it be if I lived in a house like that? Oh wow, wouldn't it be neat if I said yes to that travel opportunity? That's when you start to get excited about stuff, and there you go. Art quilts. If I see things visually in my head, I process it better. I do too. That's why I always think, imagine yourself, any of these clutter situations, imagine yourself in the driver's seat of your car. And are you making progress towards the life you want? Or are you kind of either driving slowly, taking detours, not starting at all, spinning your wheels, all that stuff, all right? It's how we all work. We all work a little bit differently, but I try to show up and make it simple, make it easy, make it fun, so that I have found when things are simple and easy and fun, I am so much more likely to show up the next day, to show up at the next session, to do the things that you need to do to get to where you want to go to. Because if a road trip is boring and arduous and painful, I'm going to just stop. I'm not even going to start if it sounds like not only is it going to be a pain to get there, because there will be some, less than fun days on the road, but you will put up with, won't you? Ask yourself, won't you put up with some crappy days of driving in the rain or like the desert or under bumpy roads? Won't you do that when you... I just want to suggest that. I'm often using the imagery of that cross-country road trip because I'm on the East Coast. So I'm always using this kind of metaphorical cross-country road trip from Pennsylvania to Palm Springs, because that's a 40-hour drive through multiple states across the country from pretty much one side to the next. And you can't do it in a day. You have to show up multiple times. It's going to be fun sometimes, and then it's going to be boring sometimes, and you're going to get tired, and you're going to have to do a little bit and stop and rest and fill your tank, and do a little bit and stop and rest and fill your tank. That's also how you declutter, okay? And I love this. Art Quilts just said, I recently stayed at my friend's beautiful, beautiful, neat home with open space, and it inspired me. I love that. When you are inspired, when you see something to say, oh my gosh, I would love this in my life, note what that is and write it down. So art quilts, how can you get your home to be beautiful and neat with open space so that when you walk in, you're inspired when you see things visually to create art quilts, you know? Living in a different environment can up your vibe. You know the opposite, because can you imagine going to some place that's like dirty and gross and nasty? You begin to feel dirty and gross and nasty. Right? And Gigi, Gina, it's okay. You're not late. I mean, you're not. There's no late. I started at a certain point, and you came in when it was convenient too. I will be here for another 35 minutes, and then I'm going to go out. And if it's not raining, I'm actually psyched. I'm going to go to this little farm stand with my husband to buy some tomatoes, because we realized one of the things that's important to us is to be able to buy like delicious vegetables, because we're trying to eat more vegetables and also help our local economy. So we're actually making the effort to go buy our stuff little and local versus just going to the Acme. That's how I want my life to look and feel. I want to know that I am doing the good things for the people outside of my home. So I make the time to do that. So there's that. I don't even know why I was telling you about that. Oh, it's just because I'm going to sign off at 3 o'clock. There we go. I've heard, hold the item and it brings you joy and gives you happy thoughts. Keep it, if not toss. Yes, Dana, pay attention. Pay attention to how your things make you feel. Now, here's a fun thing. I don't often, for some reason, this hasn't come up a lot, this imagery that I used to use a lot when I was coaching, and I haven't used it for a while. So check it out, you afternoon people or late morning people, if you happen to be from the West Coast. Again, my name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my one-on-one Zoom decluttering life coaching that I do. Think about this. And art quilts, you said you're visual. So everybody visualize you're in your car and you are at a traffic signal, one of those ones with the 3 colored lights, right? It's hanging like this. Now, normally, if you're in a real car, you're going to have red up the top, yellow in the middle, green down the bottom. I like to flip it up because I like to think of your internal traffic signals as being in your body. Okay, so imagine that thing, it's flipped upside down, and it's kind of overlaid over your body, so the green light is where your heart is. The stuff that you love is the stuff that makes you say, ooh, you're drawn towards it like a magnet. Your heart is drawn towards it. You love it. You don't even have to think about it because you get this visceral reaction like, yes, ooh. Like I think, ooh, I want to go to there. Like you were drawn forward. You say, ooh, your face lights up. Pay attention to that feeling with your stuff. That's the stuff that's probably not clutter. It's probably the stuff you want to hang out with, right? The stuff in your home, the people, the experiences that make your heart turn green with yes and go and verdant and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So that's the green light. The opposite of the green light, it's down there, people. In your body, let's just be euphemistic and say your body knows when to get rid of the stuff that it is not finding useful. Your physical body excretes the stuff that you don't use all the time in order to survive. Can you imagine if your body held on to the crap in your body like you hang on to the crap in your house? How awful that would feel, how bad it would function. No, your body gets rid of that stuff on the reg. What I want to offer is pay attention to the things in your home that when you look at it, instead of going, ooh, you go, ugh, I don't want that. That's garbage. It's not working. I'm so sick of looking at that. Like it makes you feel, oh, it says stop. I don't want you in my home. I want to get rid of it. Notice that is going to be the red feeling, the stop, the no, the I don't want it in my life feeling. You got green, go. You've got and keep, and you've got red, ugh, excrete it. Get rid of it, okay? Notice the one I haven't touched on yet is going to be the yellow light. The yellow light is just like when you're in your car. A yellow light comes up and you say, oh, do I step on the gas and try to make it through before it turns red? Or do I slow down? Do I want to keep this or do I want to get rid of it? I'm not sure, right? And the yellow stuff is the stuff that's usually the clutter that you struggle with. You don't struggle with the trash and the stuff that you don't want. That's kind of easy, right? But just notice where your stuff. If you hold the item and it brings you joy and gives you happy thoughts, keep it. If it doesn't do that, toss it. And now you say toss, and I say donate things wherever you can. But examine it. Make a decision that feels good to you. Because what I don't want you to do for your own self is to make a decision without being thoughtful, without aligning it with, is this going to align with the life that I want to look and feel? So then you later regret donating it or throwing it away. Now, I will say regret is going to happen occasionally. I did a video for this recently, and it wasn't anything that I even regretted like sentimentally in my heart. It was literally like we had a bunch of old like rug liners from rugs that we had that were rolled up in the basement, and they were kind of nasty, right? And I was like, we're never going to use those again, so I threw them away. And then months later, years later, I wanted to put a little like thing outside our back door because I wanted someplace for my little bare feeties to go. And I realized it would have been beneficial if I had one of those rug mats on it. Oh, well, I didn't have it. So you know what? I bought another one. It's going to happen, but decrease the amount of time that you think it's going to happen where you're going to regret a decision by being in a good headspace. Say, what do I want my life? What do I want my home to look and feel like? You know, what do I want it to look and feel like? And believe you can get there. Even if you don't believe it, just pretend believe. Allow your body to believe it and notice how that kind of shifts how you feel. Now, I was on a consultation recently with somebody, and I even just did that. I was like, how does it feel when you say this crappy thing to yourself? You feel crappy, then you do crappy. How about the opposite of that? How about, this is going to work out for me. I know this is going to work out for me. When you say that, I can do this. This is going to work out. I've done other things. I can do this. It gives you a little bit of hope, a little bit of lift, and it's not just your bubs. Gives you a little bit of lift in your heart to say, I can do that. I don't know, I'm going to give it a try. It's better to try for what you want, because here's the funny thing. When you try for what you want, the universe will send you help. It will send you opportunities. But when you say no, the universe is going to be like, yep, noted. Get it? If you don't want it to happen, it's not going to happen. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy on both times. If you say it's going to be difficult, it's going to be difficult. If you say, well, it's not going to be all like, puppies and roses, but it could be fun. You could make it fun, So just notice that. Yeah, and Janice is saying, yellow light, think before you buy. This has been really helpful to me because I was at a point in my life where I hadn't made a lot of money in my life for like a wicked long time. And I finally, because I had a freaking boring corporate job, I was making like decent money. So I was like, I can buy whatever the heck I want. I could buy that if I wanted to. I could buy that if I wanted to. Give me that. So I did some of that, and then I started saying, you know what, just because I can buy it doesn't mean I have to buy it. And it's like, do I even want to buy it? It's like, I could buy this, and this is what I say to myself, I could buy this. I could, or not. And if I say, no, I really, 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 really want this thing, like, ooh, there's something there, I don't deny myself if it's the really, 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 really. But if I'm like, meh, I couldn't, I could do it, I could not. And if I say I could not, that's good, because you don't want your house cluttered up with a bunch of kind of meh stuff. Well, I could get it, meh. And then your home ends up being kind of meh, right? I love that Beth Whitley says, you are so inspiring, Beth. We Beths are pretty cool, aren't we? My house is a mess ever since my mom passed 1.5 years ago. Okay, here's what I want to offer to you, is allow yourself to grieve your mom's passing. Okay, allow yourself that. It's really hard to declutter when your heart hurts, when your heart is open and raw. Allow yourself to heal, and notice that one of the reasons your house is a mess is because your mom passed. But what can you do for you, Beth, to make your life, that your mom doesn't have life anymore, but you've got life. You deserve to live in a house that's not messy. So why not start making your life a little bit better? Do it when the time is right, but also do it for yourself, because your mom would want you to be living a life you love. That's what I say about my dad who passed. It's like, we have life, they do not. Oh my gosh, don't fritter it away in a messy home. Get your house cleaned up so you love it every day you're in it, and then go off and play. There we go. Oh, interesting. Years ago, I lost weight through a coach, and we had to relax, breathe, and say, I'm losing weight now. Interesting. I'll try it. At first I laughed, but it worked. Act and speak as if you're already where you want to be. Yes, art quilts. That is gold. There's gold in them Lar Hills. When I am coaching people, and this is the fun thing too about when I do a TikTok live, unlike when I coach people one-on-one on Zoom where we're having a conversation, I still think in this way. This is how my brain listens for like the nuggets of wisdom. But when you and I are only able to communicate with me talking to my phone, sitting in my office, and then you're typing things that show up on the screen, you have to be very judicious about what words you use because they've got like a character count, right? But notice the words you use to talk to yourself. And do they light you up or do they weigh you down? Right? Speak to yourself as if saying, well, someday I'm going to do this. You say, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. You know, instead of, yeah, I will get to that. Like, I'm booking those tickets to Mallorca today, as opposed to, I'll get to that later. You know, there we go. Pink hearts green. Oh, she was my best friend. Yeah, I bet she was. But you know what? Your mom lives in your heart. Your mom is with you. She lives in your heart. She wants you to have the home that you love. And you're probably going to cry at some points because we're humans and you're going to feel the feels, especially when you're dealing with sentimental clutter. But you're not helping your mom any. Oops. Maybe that was your mom saying, you know, treat yourself well. What can you do today to say, hey, mom, guess what? I love you and I'm going to clean up my house a little bit and make myself feel better. You know, you got this. There we go. I'm encouraging you. Here, have some courage. I'm encouraging as opposed to discouraging. Notice there's an opposite. I'm so excited that because of this random TikTok that I'm doing right now, it's not random because I do schedule these. Actually, there's a video I did that's always posted to the top of my TikTok page that's pinned there that says when I'm going to show up. So if you're interested in showing up for more of these, I always like to put the schedule. I also am going to start to send that schedule even before I post it here to the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. So if you're interested in that, I'm really deciding to beef that up. I don't know what the vegetarian equivalent to beefing it up will be, but I'm going to make it even cooler to be on that mailing list. So destinationdecluttered.com/join. Just sign up. You've got some cool stuff. Free Zoom call. You're going to find out when you can coach with me first. The beef I just talked about that I can't remember what it was. You know, but encouraging. You know, there we go. And says, thank you for the grace you tell us to give ourselves through the process. Yeah, you know what? If beating ourselves up worked, we would all be freaking rock stars. Our houses would look great. Our lives would look great. No, beating me up makes me feel like crap. When I beat myself up, I feel like crap. I do nothing. When I treat myself with kindness and love, I feel a little bit kinder, more loving, and I do better. I show up and do the scary things like, you know, booking a hotel for Spain for 3 weeks from now that I was like, all right, I booked it. You know, I mean, I can quit within a few days, but I was like, I'm doing it. Look at me. I did it. It's something I wanted to do, you know, there we go. What else? Okay. Yeah, Beth. So you do need to go through your mom's house and sell her things and sell her house. What I want to offer to you as a process, because this is how I work, is I like to think of the strategy. Work on your own home first. Work on your own home. Get your own home feeling like you want it to look and feel. Because also when you're at your mom's house, you're probably going to be, you're definitely going to be coming up with the, do I want this in my house or not? You also want a place that when you're at your mom's house and you're feeling all these feelings and it's overwhelming and it's a lot of work, that you want a place that you can go and feel safe and calm and retreat and just be taken care of. When your home looks good, it feels safe and good. So allow yourself a safe and good place to just kind of escape from the overabundance of a lot of stuff that's happening in your mom's house, okay? And yeah, treat yourself with grace and kindness. Treat everybody with grace and kindness, and life is so much better, you know? The more you notice the negative self-talk, the better it gets, and the less you do it. Yeah, if you decide to make that change. People notice it, and they're like, sorry, that's just the way I am. But if you want to change things, I think of it as almost a fun practice to say, what is the opposite of that? What is a more helpful thought? How could I translate this into a more helpful language? Like I use Duolingo for Spanish, and it's like, how could I translate this less than helpful thought? What could I use, like the bare bones of it? Because there's some interesting stuff in your negative thoughts are the ingredients of the positive thoughts. In the poison, there's part of the antidote, you know, yin yang, all that. So get curious about what you're saying to yourself specifically, and then you can create an opposite thought that kind of nullifies it, you know. Coastal Country Girl is asking, where did I get that awesome shelf? It's very clean looking. Of course it is clean looking. How silly would it be if I was a decluttering coach and I had a bunch of clutter? Now, the funny thing is, so quick is this is an IKEA bookshelf. But the neat thing is, I will share with you. Maybe I'll show this someday. So back here in this IKEA bookshelf, you know how people say create like a vision board and put in things that you want. I'm not big on the vision boards, but what I started to do easily 20 years ago when I didn't know what I wanted in my life, but I started to maybe think something cool, is I created a book. I created a book and it was just blank pages, and I would paste in it stuff from magazines that I wanted. And there was this really cool bookshelf. I wonder if I could find it. If I could find it really quickly, I would show it to you. But I decided, I thought it looked really cool that somebody had a bookshelf that had these squares in it, and each square had like a vintage radio in it. And so I said, wow, I would love to have a house like that someday. And so I put that in there, and lo and behold, I saw these shelves in IKEA. And then lo and behold, I said, oh, you know what would be looking neat? I don't want the radios, but I've got these little vintage train cases from luggage, because I like to travel and I like the cheery colors and I like that kind of mod, vintage, groovy stuff versus antiques, you know? So I only have this awesome shelf in front of me, or excuse me, behind me, because I decided I wanted that in my future. I wanted my future to include that. There we go. Thank you for letting me know that posting a schedule helps. It would help me. I'm glad it helps you. So thank you for letting me know that. And yeah, Beigeberry Designs. Yeah, I am totally from Massachusetts. I am. Oh. Beth Whitley, here's what I want to offer. I was on a coaching call earlier today, and this is the imagery that came up to me when this client was talking about her mom passing and how, you know, she was dealing with some of the grief. Is crying is good. Crying is another way that your body releases something that you don't want. Okay? Tears are better than poop. I mean, please don't, embroider that on a pillow. But tears are a way of you releasing stuff that's been collected up, that you're going to feel so much better when it's done. We all feel that way. It feels kind of awful while you're doing it. Or it doesn't feel so great while you're doing it, but you're going to feel better after the crying. You are. I use your TikTok as a reinforcement to coaching. Awesome. Thank you. I'm here to help everybody. If my words can help anybody, this is the thing I have to say that I love about how I have decided to show up and coach, is that I love to coach on different levels, because of course we're talking about clutter in your home, making your home look better. But it's not just about making it look like Pinterest or like a, Martha Stewart or some, shelter magazine. That to me is boring, because you can make it look good on the outside, but you can open up like a closet and it's a hot mess. I love talking about decluttering your home, and the way I teach it is that I teach it from the life coaching perspective. So you are transforming your home with the same skills and tools that you transform your life, and you're getting practice using these tools, these thinking and feeling and doing tools. You are practicing how to use them in a place where you see tangible difference and improvement, because you're seeing how your life looked like that and now it looks this way. But you're doing it so it's on all levels. It's the surface and the sentiment, the stored and the sentimental. There we go. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I was there in October and I loved it. I said Wicked, and that usually reminds me of people from Mass, and it does. And that's one of the reasons I keep Wicked in my lexicon. What else? I occasionally will say tonic as opposed to soda or pop. The only reason my A's are there is because I did college radio in the 80s, so I learned to not talk in my Boston accent. I also didn't have a wicked bad Boston accent. Listen to me. Oh my God. I just said I didn't have a wicked bad Boston accent. Okay, well, I am me. I grew up saying certain things like, oh my God, bathroom. I said bathroom and tomato for the longest time. Now I say tomato, So yeah, I like it. I love hearing regional accents. I do. I don't like it when everything is homogenized and boring. That's why I want your life, your home, to be so you that it's so you that it just lights you up. I don't want your home. Your home should not look like my home. Your home should not look like anybody else's. Your home should reflect exactly what's important to you, how you want it to look, how you want it to feel, how you want it to function, what colors you have, what you hang on the walls, and it shouldn't matter what anybody else says, because it's your home. There we go. Oh, funny, Beth says I had a strong Southern accent but changed it because, yeah, you know what? I bet you can turn it on again or off again. I tend to occasionally turn on. It was so funny. My sister and I were on a cruise recently with my mother, and we were sitting next to a woman who said that her accent comes on wicked bad when she's sitting with her sister. Now, the funny thing is, she's like, I thought when I moved out of Boston that I wouldn't have an accent. Anytime I get together with my sister, I get my accent. So we were both sisters going like, yeah, we totally talk in mass to each other because it's kind of funny. But the thing that cracked me up is this woman said, yeah, I moved to Westwood. Now, if you don't know Massachusetts, that doesn't mean a lot. Like, I moved from Massachusetts to Pennsylvania. So I am states away from the way that people talk up there. So the fact that she moved a couple of towns away and thought it was going to change just cracked me up, you know. Oh, there you go, Warsh. Yep. Oh, I live in the Philadelphia area of Pennsylvania. So it's like, oh, we got hoagies. I'm going to go to Wawa and get a hoagie and get a water ice, you know. Hey, yous guys, I'm going to go down the water, go down the water, what is it? Go down the Wawa and get a hoagie, you know. I am not currently in Bucks County, PA, TikTok user, but I'm close. I'm in one of those counties. Too funny. Anyhow, okay, look it. You guys, we have 14 minutes left. We have 14 minutes left on this TikTok live. What I just want to offer is, my name is Beth. I do one-on-one declutter coaching with people on Zoom for 10-week packages. I only say that now because just so you know where I'm coming from. But currently, I don't have any consultations available on my schedule. I'm chock-a-block full. It's like Tetris over there, Jay. All right? And I say that because I'm going to encourage you, if you're interested at all ever in possibly getting coaching from me, the way that you're going to start to do that is to be getting onto the Destination Decluttered email list. That's now going to be the first stop in that journey, because I want to reward the people who are cool enough to share with me their email addresses. So when I have next week, I'm thinking, I don't know about next week because we've got the holiday, right? But the week after that, the week starting the 10th, I'm just planting a seed here. The week starting the 10th is going to be a week that I'm going to do some consultations for coaching. And if you're interested in starting coaching, just know that those consultations for the week of the 10th are for coaching that's going to start the first week of August. No, I'm usually not that structured. I usually can roll with, we start here and we do this and we make things happen. But I'm saying that because I'm going away for like 10 days and I won't be even in the country to do the coaching. So if you're like, oh, I want to do coaching, but I can't start now, could you start the first week of August? 10 weeks from the beginning of August is like mid-October. If you want your home and life to feel and look differently, mid-October, hint, hint, that's also a great time to be starting about how you want your home to look and feel for the holidays. So can you imagine even having a jump start on your house looking and feeling good for when you get the holidays coming on? Being on the Destination Decluttered email list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. Hop onto that. I see a bunch of people have signed up already. I don't do that. I don't spam you. I just send good stuff. And I even try to not do it too much. I'm trying to do that balance of being helpful but not annoying. So you will only get good stuff from me. Okay? There we go. Oh, there you go. I'm from Pittsburgh. Yin's from Pittsburgh and at? Is that it? We have a neighbor, Tom, who lives down the street, and he has been helping me practice my Pittsburghese. There we go. Okay, Dana, I don't see the email. Okay. Here's what I want to offer, because I offer a lot of things. If you don't get it, send me an email or send me a message here through TikTok. There's a way you can message me. I think you need to like my page to do that. Also, if you can like my page just in general, I'm going to be doing more TikTok lives this week. You will be notified when I go live with TikTok. Like today's Tuesday, none of them tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm, again, wicked busy. I'm wicked busy Wednesday. Thursday is going to be a half hour on TikTok, then a half hour on Facebook, half hour on Instagram, half hour on YouTube, because I know that not everybody who struggles with clutter and stuff is, is on TikTok. So I'm trying to be everywhere that the people are. That's going to start at 8 a.m. Eastern. I apologize, West Coast people. I am an East Coaster, so I do that. I will always do, not always, I don't like to use the superlative declaratives, because I will, as often as I can, always try to schedule, or, because you got to use the, watch your words. I will, as best I can, attempt to schedule a later starting TikTok live, at least once a week, so that I can reach you folks in the West Coast time frame, okay? So there we go. There we go. Oh, okay, so that's it. Clutter. Here's what I want to offer you. this is where you are today, okay? You've got your stuff that you've probably accumulated over years and decades of collecting and decision-making habits, right? What do you want your home to look and feel like? Before you even start getting rid of the stuff, what are you aiming for? What are you aiming for? And when you know what you're aiming for, it's going to be so much easier to make the decisions back here because you can compare where you are now to something else. When you're like, maybe I'll need this someday. I don't know. Maybe I'll hang it up. I don't know. What do you want your home to look like? When you have kind of, I say, this destination, or think about it like your North Star, or even just the destination again of like when you are wanting to go someplace, if you put, you can't put a point, you can't drive anywhere using your map unless you put a point B from your point A, like using your Google, map on your phone, right? Okay, so I love this. Hey Now is saying, yes, please, the 3-hour time difference is tough. I get that. So I'm going to show up more for you folks because one of my fun goals is, because why the heck not, is, and every time I talk about where my clients are, I'm always looking over. I have this little kind of map of the US where I have little smiley stickers as to where my clients are. And I would love to get a smiley for every state. So I realize I got to show up for some of these states in the middle and the far west, right? So I will do that. Seller 268, this should be on YouTube. The only reason I say should as opposed to will is because I was having problems downloading yesterday's TikTok live from TikTok to put it up to YouTube. So if I am able to successfully download it, I will upload it to there. I am making that a habit to do it, but sometimes like technology doesn't allow me to do it and I don't know why. There we go. I sent you a message by Facebook Messenger to get your email. How about this, Dana and everybody? Beth, B-E-T-H, at destinationdecluttered.com. That's my email address. I can put you on my mailing list that way. It's easier if you just go to the website because then you get it automatically. But if you didn't get the automatic email from Destination Decluttered, I can look and see what went wrong. Okay, there we go. There we go, like the picture right above me. I love replaying YouTube while I work and when you're off the grid. See, I love that. And thanks, I got to share with you. That means a lot to me. This is a two-way street, okay? So I am just a human being on the planet trying to figure out how to do these things to help people and also, I'll be honest, like this is my life, this is my livelihood. So how can I reach more people who are struggling with something that I know I can help them with? And all it takes is a commitment of 10 weeks and a couple of shekels, and we can get you, going from where you are to where you want to be. But I can only show up the best I can for you is when you tell me that. So when I know that these TikToks mean a lot, and I get to realize that by the amount of people that are following me on TikTok. So I see a lot. I see my TikToks increase. I know to show up on TikTok some more. I see more people on my email mailing list. I know to show up more for that. I know that doing these lives and then putting them onto YouTube is helping because you told me. So the more you tell me what will help you, the better I can help you. And it's really kind of a cool win-win situation in that way. It hasn't, this is me. I'm just figuring this stuff up as I go along. I've really only started to do this where I've showed up on TikTok multiple days and do these things since literally the beginning of March. And it has been a game changer and it has changed my life in so many wonderful ways that I want to keep doing it. And I did just say shekels, and I kid because I use that, my husband and I use that because we went to Israel. He's in a band that played over there, and so I got to tag along with that. And we cracked up because we didn't know that shekels were still an actual currency. So sometimes I like to have fun with my words and my life. And if it makes me smile and giggle, why the heck not? All right. And what else can I tell you? We got 6 minutes here. Yeah. You shouldn't struggle with your stuff. All your stuff is just stuff from a store. Why let that get in the way of what's in your heart and how you want to live your life? Okay? When you realize that your clutter is just getting in the way, it's all piled up in front of this little car in front of you, and all you do is, my friend Kelly would say in her wonderful cocktail things, all you do is get out of your car, pick up the thing and say, what is this? Oh, do I want this? If I want it, I put it in the trunk of my car. If I don't want it, I put it to the side of the road so I can move forward. It's removing that physical and metaphorical roadblock that's just in the way of you making progress towards that life you want. You know? Beth says, how did you start doing this? It is definitely your purpose in life. I gotta say, it feels like it. And I don't know, 57 almost years of being on the planet and living in a cluttered home and working different random jobs because I'm Gen X and having no idea what I wanted to do for many years, and then finding something. And I said to myself, I will share this with you guys. Talk about planting a seed. This is what I did. It was very vague because prior to this, I was writing books about road tripping and I was trying to make this thing work. I was trying to make it work, and it did a lot of work. I loved what I did, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. So I said, what do I want? And I told myself this, and feel free to use it. I said, I even have it written down. I've got it written down, but it was like, I want to do something I'm good at and enjoy that makes the world a better place that I can get paid to do. I was as vague as that. But then I started paying attention. What do I like to do? What would people pay for? What am I good at? What do I like and I'm good at that people would pay for? What are the things, and not just pay for, because people did buy my books about road trips and stuff, but what do people want to pay for something that's going to change their life? So how can I help people change their lives from the better using all this experience and knowledge that I have had, that I've lived through? I have decades worth of experience, and I've kind of condensed it all up into like a 10-week coaching package and a random, these TikTok lives that I do, Yeah, getting away from the mindset of one day I'll need it, and I want to say happy pre-birthday, Beth Whitley. Mine is August 7th. So we are both of the summertime persuasion. I believe you're a Cancer because my husband is a Cancer. I am a Leo on the cusp. There we go. I've struggled with my stuff so long and just lost my friend, age 48. Need to refocus. Life is short. I love that, and I don't love the fact that you lost your friend, and that sucks. But here's the thing: the sooner you get to your destination, the sooner your home and life feel like and act like you want it to, the more of your life you just get to live that way. Like, I'm learning this. I've only learned this in the last 20, 15, 10, 5 years of my life, but oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. So I want to save you all the time it took me to learn these things by helping you with just the greatest hits of all of these things that I've learned. And I will tell you that I've had clients that send me rave reviews and testimonials on my website about even just 10 weeks has allowed them to kind of shift gears. You're shifting. Nobody shifts anymore. But shift gears and think differently so you feel differently, so you do differently. And that's not just about your clutter. It's when you say, it's about my clutter, but how do I want my life to be? How do I want to feel in my house? I want to feel relaxed and calm. I want to know where everything is. I want to be able to easily get it, easily put it away. I don't want to have to spend too much time doing the decluttering or the cleaning because I want to go out and play, all that stuff. Yes, and the way I see it, 100%. Definitely, we Gen Xers are the sandwich generation in that respect. It's like we're getting this stuff inherited from here. We have our own stuff at this point because we've been around for decades, but also many of you, not me, I don't have kids, but I've got nieces and nephew, is we have the generation below us. And I want to just leave you with this one. Let's be the generation to break that chain. To say, no, I'm not going to buy into that false narrative of he who lives with, who dies with the most toys wins. You know who says that? The person who's selling the toys, who's making money off of the toys. Let's be that generation who says, nope, I'm not going to buy into that because I know that happiness comes from within. And when I'm happy from within, I need such fewer things on the exterior. You don't need to become a monk. You can still buy stuff that you love, but the quantity that you're buying will be greatly reduced. And you can break that chain for other generations so you won't be giving them the guilt that you got about keeping stuff and things like that. All right. There we go. Great Depression, all these things, people. All right. Just something to think about. And what I would love to leave you with is just this. You're here. What do you want your life to look and feel like? And just know you can get there a little bit at a time. Okay. Scarcity mindset has a lot to do with it. I would love to chat more about this, but I have to be mindful about my time and my boundaries. And I want to go get that fresh tomato from the farmer's market down the way before I hit another coaching session. So everybody, It's been so fun showing up later in the day than planned. I will do this more often. You will find out about that before anybody else if you get onto the Destination Decluttered email list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. Also, if you want to like my TikTok page, that would be awesome, so you know when I show up live again. And also, if you know somebody who's struggling with clutter that you think any of my words would resonate with them, just let them know that help's there. If they're not on TikTok, I show up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. And I know you all can do this. You have a great day, and you all deserve to live a life that you love. Okay? That sounds kind of like a mic drop kind of moment. So I'm going to click off now, and I will see you later. Bye.